If you have watched my other videos on directed writing, you will be aware that I have a specific way of planning, which is using a table. However, we don't have time to do that on exam day. So nearer the exam, you should be starting to do this way instead. These are the steps I usually take for doing the paper 1 directed writing question, which is step 1 is to read the blurb of the text. Step 2 is to read the question and underline the keywords in the question. Step 3 is to read the text and then underline 4 to 5 points for each section. And step 4 is to fill in the table, which has a column for development. This is the step that we're going to skip in this video. After that, we will write the directed piece of writing, whether it is letter, magazine article, journal, interview, newspaper report, or formal letter. And then you should check your work. Welcome to English Step by Step. I am Miss Wee. I make free videos for IGCSE English First and Second Language. Today we're going to be doing the May-June 2022 Paper 1-1, and this is the text. So as usual, we will read the blurb of the text first. And here we are, the title and the blurb, what it's like to be married to a future Ironman. In this blog post, the writer looks back on their husband's preparations to complete in an Ironman event. So we know that this is written from a wife's point of view. Next, we're going to read the question and underline the keywords in the question. So here we are with the question. You are Sam. If you remember, the text was written from the wife's point of view. Now you are writing from the husband's point of view, the person who joined Ironman. After completing the race, you are interviewed for a podcast about your experience and the advice you would offer to anyone thinking of entering an Ironman. The interviewer asks you 3 questions only. How exactly do you need to prepare for a challenge like Ironman, and why is each aspect of that preparation important? How do you think preparing for Ironman affected other areas of your life, and what advice would you offer anyone considering entering an Ironman for the first time? What were the rewards of completing an Ironman for you and your family? Write the words of the interview. So base your interview on what you have read in text C. So question 3 is always based on text C. Be careful to use your own words. Address each of the 3 bullet points. Begin your interview with the first question and write about 250 to 350 words. You can write a little bit more than this, that's fine. And you have 15 marks for content and 10 for quality of writing. Here I have highlighted for you the important parts. You are Sam, and you are to talk about your experience and give advice. And you have to write an interview. As usual, I've highlighted the 3 parts in 3 different colors so that when you are looking for the points in the text, you can highlight them in the same corresponding color. I understand that in some countries or some exam centers, you're not allowed to use highlighters. So you can use your pen and draw different types of lines. You can draw a straight one. You can draw a squiggly one. You can use brackets. You can circle. Be creative with the ways that you can use to distinguish the points for the 3 parts. The next thing I want to point out is the word and. Usually you can use the second part after the word and as development. Not always, but you often can. Next, we're going to read the text and underline 4 to 5 points for each section. So I have highlighted them in the corresponding colors. Pink is for the first bullet point, which was about the preparations and why they were important. So training in advance, getting a coach, having a plan, swimming and riding a bike, eating healthily, and getting some equipment. So for the second part, it was about how it impacted other areas of his life. So this is a negative impact on his wife, who had extra responsibilities. It also affected his kids. They couldn't go camping or hiking. It also affected friendships because he could not socialize. There was also a financial burden and impact on his work. So in your development, you will give advice on what to do in these cases. I will show you that later. The last part is about the rewards. So here the company benefited from the publicity. His family was very proud of him. There was great excitement at the finishing line. He was an inspiration, and there was a great sense of achievement for all of them. The next step usually is to fill in the tables. If you haven't watched the other videos on directed writing, I'm going to put a link up here for you to access all the videos on the different types of directed writing, such as letter, article writing, journal, interview, newspaper report, speech, and formal report. We're going to skip filling in the tables, but I'll show you what the tables look like. So in my other videos, you will see this. I will have points in one column and development in another column. Now, obviously, during the exam, you will not have time to make tables like this. So we're going to write directly on the insert itself. And here I have done the first part for you. So I have developed the points in pink. So for training, started training in January. I have to change to my own words first, start training months in advance. And my development is that you need time to get strong. Got himself an expert coach. So I say here to get a good coach, and that will save you a lot of time. That's my development. Monthly training plan. So set a target and adjust accordingly. That's my development. Bike ride and pool ride. Swam and rode my bike a couple of hours every weekend. Must be consistent. That's my development. Extra food, I've changed to eat healthily, and development is to consume enough protein. Now I'm going to develop the blue points for the second bullet point. I've removed the others so it's not too crowded. So for all about childcare, too much burden on wife. So my advice is to make sure that you get help. So that's my development. And it also fulfills the second part of the bullet point, which requires you to give advice for those who are thinking about participating in the Ironman. I have neglected friends, so let them know that it's only a temporary situation. That's my advice. I spent a lot of money on equipment and food. So be sure to have a budget. Notice that I've started using I because I want to get into character. I want to remind myself that I am Sam. Here we have problem with business partner. So do discuss the benefits with your co-workers, with your boss, with your business partner if you have one. I also mentioned that I, or Sam, neglected children. So you must make sure that you strike a balance and don't neglect them. The next part is for the rewards in green. Again, I have deleted all the others to make space. But for this one, the reward was that my company became well known and there was increased business revenue. Here, my wife was very proud of me and she wants to sign up for Ironman next year. For the next one, I've got boost self-esteem and increase confidence. We've got two separate points here. For the kids, I was a role model for my kids and showed them that anything is possible. And the sense of elation here and unparalleled joy, that was the reward. So here is to write the directed piece of writing. Make sure you use the right format. And here we have the interview.
How exactly do you need to prepare for a challenge like Ironman, and why is each aspect of that preparation important?
The most important thing is to give yourself enough time. Ideally, you should start training at least 6 months in advance because your body needs time to build strength and endurance. Consistency is key. Commit to running, swimming, and cycling for a few hours each week. Another crucial step is hiring a coach. Many people hesitate because of the cost, but in reality, Skipping a coach often leads to wasted time and inefficient training. You should also set a goal and adjust it as you progress. Treat it as a moving target, pushing yourself further as you get stronger. And of course, nutrition plays a vital role. Eat a balanced diet with plenty of protein to fuel your training and aid recovery.
How do you think preparing for Ironman affected other areas of your life? And what advice would you offer to anyone considering it for the first time?
It definitely impacted my personal life. My wife took on a lot of extra responsibilities, which was tough on her. So if you're thinking about entering Ironman, make sure to communicate with your partner and get some support. It also affected my relationship with my kids. I felt guilty about missing out on activities like camping and hiking. It's important to find a balance so that training doesn't come at the cost of family time. My friends weren't thrilled either since I had to turn down a lot of social invitations, so I'd advise letting them know in advance that your schedule will be tight but temporary. The biggest challenge for me was my business partner. If you have one, try to show them the potential benefits of your Ironman journey. It might surprise them. Finally, there's the financial aspect. Extra food, equipment, and race fees add up. So plan a budget and stick to it.
What were the rewards of completing an Ironman for you and your family?
Sam, the rewards were incredible. The sheer elation at the finish line is indescribable. Pure joy. My self-esteem has skyrocketed and people have noticed my increased confidence. My wife was so inspired that she signed up for Ironman next year. I also hope I've set a good example for my kids by showing them that with dedication, anything is possible. Even my business partner is thrilled. Our company has gained unexpected publicity, and business is thriving. So, while the journey was challenging, the rewards made every sacrifice worthwhile.
If you want to watch a more detailed video on interview writing, where I break things down, and I also talk about the mark scheme and examiner comments, so this is the video that you should be looking for, and I will put the link above. Apart from this video, I also have lots of other videos for first and second language. Do check them out, and if you have questions, leave them in the comment box below, and if you need tutoring, you can contact me here. If you have found this lesson useful, do remember to like, share and subscribe. Do hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any future lessons. Thank you, and I will see you real soon in my next video.